Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I'm also a registered legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. That's a really important point, and I realize I haven't done a video that really explains to you what a legal document assistant is and how they compare to an attorney. So let's talk about it. Before I get into this video, I want to make sure I'm very clear that I love attorneys. I'm so grateful for them. We need attorneys, and every divorce is not appropriate to work with an LDA. So this is not a attorney bashing video. No. I have many friends who are attorneys, and I refer clients to them frequently, especially in my role as a mediator. So let's get into it. What exactly is an LDA? And notice in my videos, I always say I'm a registered LDA. I'm registered with the county. That means I can file all across the state. That means I'm bonded. So that means the county is watching me and what I do. That offers protection for you, the consumer, just like the state bar offers protection for you, the consumer, when you're dealing with an attorney. An LDA is a trained professional who is able to prepare and file legal documents for self-represented people. That means you don't have an attorney. So if you had an attorney, I don't mean one you're consulting with, one you have retained, I couldn't file the paperwork for you. I could still prepare the paperwork for you and put the attorney's name on it, and that could save you some legal cost potentially, but your attorney would still need to file that. They're the attorney of record. Technically, they're the only one who can file that. But if you don't have an attorney, you can file the paperwork yourself, or you can hire a legal document assistant to do that. LDAs are not attorneys, and they cannot give you legal advice. So save your breath and don't ask them. Don't ask them. They cannot give you legal advice. They can tell you maybe what other people have done. They can offer you a brochure of what the correct forms to choose are, but they can't tell you how your case is going to go, what the judge is going to decide, what you should do, how much child support you should ask for. They can't tell you that. So don't ask, please. You're putting them in a very precarious position. They cannot give you legal advice. But they will give you legal information. They can point you to the family law code and what it says. All right. So the services that LDAs offer are they help you with, once again, there's that word, that paperwork. It takes about 1 page to get married, your marriage license, and at least 30 to get a divorce. They can help you with them 30 plus pages that you need from start to finish. So when you are feeling overwhelmed and you're not sure what forms and how to do it, and you figured out the forms and you don't even know how am I supposed to know what my estimated budget is? I'm still living here. I don't have a job. You don't know that stuff. They can help you. They can help you. They can talk you through the forms. They can walk you through the forms. You can give them the answers. They'll fill it out for you. They can help you. They can help you put it in plain English. Also, side note, the Judicial Council of California has a really great website. Believe it or not, they have a really great website that will also walk you through. So start there, and then there will be a moment when you're like, oh, this is great. I totally understand this, but I don't want to do the paperwork myself. Great. Call it LDA. They'll be happy to do this for you. Don't forget, they do this every day, all day. This is their bread and butter. They know exactly what to do. Okay, so ask for help. Working with an LDA saves you money compared to working with an attorney. Just like if you have an attorney and you're talking to their paralegal is less per hour than if you were talking to the head partner. Same type of thing. They're going to save you money. Doesn't mean it's going to be cheap. Doesn't mean it's going to be free or pro bono, but it is going to be less expensive. So let's talk about when you might need to hire an attorney. Definitely. If you are mediating your disputes, you want to consult with an attorney. That way you can have someone be an advocate for you. If you have maybe kitchen tabled your disputes and you've worked out an agreement, you want to consult with an attorney, let them see your agreement and make sure, okay, the LDA drafted this okay, and have them put other language in there or change things around or maybe renegotiate something with your spouse. Great. You can mediate a whole bunch of things, and maybe you're not agreeing on custody, but you can mediate. But when things get nasty and ugly around your custody schedule, when somebody's taking your baby and not giving them back, when they're not being honest or they're alienating your child, those types of things, you're going to need an attorney. When they're making accusations, when they're filing temporary restraining orders against you, when they're lying about you, you are going to need an attorney. Okay? If it is so high conflict that they are lying on their financial disclosures, the divorce is dragging on, they're not getting things done, you're going to need an attorney. If you have very complex assets, like I've got 5 homes and 3 businesses, and oh yeah, I own a chateau in France, you might want to consult an attorney. You might need to hire them, okay? I'm thinking if you got 5 properties and a chateau and 3 businesses, you probably can afford that retainer, and just make sure you have adequate legal coverage. Great. But that's not to say if you and your spouse aren't in agreement or if you have a prenup that you can't do it on your own, okay? But I'm just throwing out some scenarios here. If you don't feel safe emotionally, physically, mentally, you're going to need an attorney. If you don't feel safe, you need an attorney. Divorce is really hard emotionally. And then you don't feel safe. And then you have to figure out all this paperwork. And you have to be communicating with your spouse. Let your attorney be the one to communicate with your spouse. Let your attorney be the one to communicate with your spouse's attorney so that you don't have to do that. You have to focus on healing and keeping yourself safe. That's a good time to hire an attorney so that they can help you get through this phase of life. If you are really concerned about fraud, hidden assets, hidden debts, get an attorney. Get an attorney. Your LDA, remember they're not attorneys, they can't give you legal advice. Get an attorney. All right, so when is an LDA a better choice than an attorney? And honestly, an LDA can be an attorney's best friend because attorneys don't always like to do paperwork. So the LDA can take those simple cases off of their plate so that the attorneys can focus on the more complex ones. So if you think you have a more simple divorce, that can definitely be used. So if it's uncontested, if you know like, okay, we're getting a divorce, but we're going to figure this out of court, and our goal is to stay out of court and really have this be uncontested, great. Use an LDA. Even if you think, oh, we got a few points, I'm not sure, then use a mediator to help you get those points settled, and then the LDA can draw up the documents for you according to your direction. Great. Remember, I've said it before, we're not attorneys, but we function as scribes. We write down what you tell us to write down. Oh, this is your agreement? That was your agreement? Okay. You've done me with your approval? Okay, great. If you've got a simple property division, if it is not like, I think I need to bifurcate this divorce because this is happening so long and we don't know what we're going to do with this asset over here in Texas. But if it's something simple, it's straightforward. You guys know what you're going to do. You've been talking to your various financial professionals and you know exactly what these terms are. Great. They can get that drawn up for you and submit it to court with your final agreements. If you need help figuring out your custodial arrangement and what child support or spousal support should be, they can help you with that. The hardest step of divorce is the last step because the court will accept your first step. They'll accept your second step, even if your second step, the names on the second step are different from the names on the first step. Sometimes they'll accept it if something's wrong on the second step. And then you get to the third step and they're like, oh, remember step 2, you did that wrong. I know. We accepted it like 2 months ago, but now I don't accept it. Now it's not okay. Oh, your name don't match. The third step is the hardest step. I kid you not. I am not being silly. I am not exaggerating. The court will accept something 1 month and the next month they'll turn around and say, you never turned that in. Okay? This is the hardest step to get through. And so they will help you get through that step. Even if you did step 1 and 2 on your own, they'll help you get through step 3. I had a couple come to me and I was like, I'm looking at your court docket online. Where's your proof of service? Did they get served? Oh, yeah, they got served. Who served them? Oh, so-and-so. Yeah, they just dropped the papers off at my house. Do you have those papers? We need to file them. They needed those papers filed, okay? So an LDA will help you. They'll help pick up at any point. So one of the key differences between LDAs and attorneys is, for the most part, LDAs charge a flat rate where attorneys have an hourly rate. So you're going to know up front how much this divorce is going to cost you, how much it's going to cost you to get that paperwork done. And that can be a big peace of mind. Even if you're not ready to file for divorce yet, if you have an idea of this is how much it's going to cost, this is how much in savings I need to do so that I can finance this divorce or at least get it started, that's really good to know, especially now it's the end of January, beginning of February. Your W-2s are coming in the mail. Hopefully you'll get a tax return. Maybe you need to save some of that money to finance your divorce. I promise you, it will be money well spent if it's buying you freedom. All right, so here are your key takeaways. When should you hire an attorney? When it's contested, when it is complex, when you guys cannot reach agreement no matter how hard you try. There's threats, you're no longer feeling safe. When should you hire an LDA? When it's uncontested, when you guys can mediate your dispute and reach an agreement, and if you just need somebody to file the paperwork for you. So an LDA can save you thousands of dollars. The average divorce in California with children is about $20,000 for one person. That means the other person on the other side of the divorce is spending another $20,000. That's about $40,000 that is being taken away from your family. So it can save you thousands of dollars. If you need help, surprise, I'm an LDA. If you need help with your paperwork in California for filing for divorce, finalizing your divorce, doing your financial disclosures, I can help you. Go ahead. There's a link at the bottom of this video in the description where you can schedule a time where I'll call you. Go ahead and take advantage of that. We can see how we can work together. If you know someone who needs this information, please be a really good friend and share this. Have a great day.